Today, on the Terrible Warriors, someone is trying to silence us. Somebody thinks we know too much already. But we don't know anything, do we? Cornered in an alleyway, our trio must fight for their lives so that they can continue their investigation into the threats facing Thistlehold. This episode covers content from Act 2 of the Wrath of the Warden campaign, published by Free League Publishing. And this episode is made possible by listeners just like you, who've decided to support us through Patreon at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. Listeners like Matthew Orr, Ken Lutz, Matthias Johnson, Silverwolf316, and Haduvadu. Find out how you can become a supporter at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. Now, ruffians have us cornered, and we don't have time for this. Let's clean up the trash and find someone who can actually help us out and further our investigation. This is Part 11, Ambushes and Petitions.
Rose Garden is a place in Halaban's Circle in Thistlehold, where fortune hunters that have done more than one expedition into Davokor Forest but have come out empty-handed end up. You see, going into the forest on an expedition costs money. You need to pay for a license. Every individual member of that party must pay for a license, and that license gets more expensive the bigger your party goes. But if you want to survive, you need to go with a big party. If you go by yourself, it's a one-way trip. So it all ends up becoming this like catch-22, where the more safer it is into the forest, the more expensive the expedition becomes. It's almost like they're trying to dissuade you from going into the forest. Anyways, eventually, fortune hunters who have spent countless trips into Bright Davokor run out of their money, and they begin making deals, taking loans, debts with other adventuring groups that hire seasoned explorers who are looking for guides into the forest, and they will end up in Rose Garden. It's a common house. It's not a flop house. It's not Blackmore. You're not living in Rent-A-Tent yet, but it's your last stop outside of Thistlehold. It's your last chance. You are in debt, and you're not allowed to be in debt in Thistlehold. You have to pay your bills. But Rose Garden is set up for you to be able to make your amends and set things right before you get kicked out. Because if you get kicked out of Rose Garden, you get kicked out of Thistlehold. And if you get kicked out of Thistlehold, you're screwed. Especially if you are planning to make your fortune in your career in Davokar. Here in Rose Garden, in an alleyway in Halaban's Circle, 6 such explorers, down on their luck, have made a deal. It's an easy deal. There's only 3 of them, and 2 of them are practically kids. They won't be able to handle themselves. It'll be fast, it'll be simple. You do this, maybe your debt gets paid. It was too good of a choice, too good of a deal to turn down. All they had to do was wait for them to arrive. They were going to get a letter, they were told, and they would arrive and then you just lure them in. Damsel in distress. Works every time.
Yeah. Sure does.
We begin rolling for initiative.
Ooh. Bet I go first, or maybe second.
So in this, the group of ruffians, their quick is at 10. So it's anyone who's above 10, anyone who's below 10.
Yeah. I think we're all, except for I am not above 10.
How's your patron saint? It's only been a day. How does it heal over time?
Ah, that's a good question.
Because it was at 1.
It was at 1, yeah.
Fight.
So
it got bloodied. So I wonder if your patron saint is in the picture right now, or if it's going to take a few days to recover. Let's quickly check up. Recovery rules!
It's at a spa.
We dip it in some water and then put it out to dry in the light of the sun for about 3 days.
You said dip it in water, and I was thinking of, those little toys, those sponge toys that grow big on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dip the patron saint in water.
Healing happens naturally by the use of alchemy or medicine with the help of mystical powers. Performing first aid on a dying person requires the medicus ability, an herbal cure, or powers of healing. Natural healing happens at a rate of 1 point of toughness per day. The medicus, 1d4 toughness. Mystical powers such as lay on hands and recovery both heal, toughness, see their... Okay, this is what I say to you. You live at the Sun Church.
Yep.
You are surrounded by healers.
Yep.
Who will help heal your patron saint through mystical means and through prayer. And they have rolled up, and your patron saint is healed.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
That works.
And as long as you remain in good standing with the church, every night when you go to sleep at the church, if your patron saint has been harmed, there is a thurge, a novice of lay on hands who can heal your patron saint through prayer and meditation.
That's a really useful spell that I maybe should have taken.
Maybe, but you didn't. You took Prios' burning glass and inherent wound.
I sure did.
And here you are. You're surrounded by some ne'er-do-wells. So, looking at our quick chart, patron saint goes first.
Sure does.
Patron saint, you get into that alleyway. They've got you surrounded. They think it's 6 against 3. It's actually 6 against 4. And just as you get trapped, just before that, you were like keeping an eye out. You were like rolling your vigilant, which you failed. But you also failed to notice the glowing danger of your patron saint, who knew this was a trap and was starting to become visible behind you. And as you turn, you see once the 3 that closed off from the street, and then the 2 that came behind the woman that was luring you in. The 3 that are coming in off the street, when you turn around and see the 3 behind you, standing between you and those 3, your patron saint, glowing and ready, always ready, constantly having to protect you for some reason, always in trouble.
I like to imagine that when we first got the letter, it was glowing brightly, and we're like, is this a trap? Yeah.
But it's daytime, so we missed it.
Yeah. Is it glowing, or is it just night or daytime? Like
The goblin saw it, and that's why he ran away.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Ghost!
So he's going to attack the middle of the 3 guys.
Going right for the middle one. All right.
Going right for the middle, right down the middle. So he attacks with his accurate. Okay, which I boosted, right?
Yeah, roll +2.
Oh, good, because that actually means he hits. I rolled a 16.
Great. Roll your flail of light. 1d6 damage.
D6. 5. Hey, he actually did something for once.
Dang.
That's the highest I think I've rolled on the D6.
Ouch.
What's happening? It's crazy. Keep doing that.
It's a flail, right? So he's just like going to swing it right at the guy's head, which is...
Yeah, no, just all of a sudden this like he's just standing there, and this like beam of light flashes over his face, and then he just has streaks of the flail across his face, and like strips of blood start forming. It doesn't know where it even came from. It's just like, what? Mitch, just roll me a d20, high or low. Just tell me high or low.
Oh, well, high. 14.
14, okay. I'll let you... The flail goes over their face. Who in the group do they blame? Because if you'd gotten it wrong, I would have said they blame the witch. They immediately point at the barbarian. It's the witch! The witch did this! And they all come for you. But someone in the group, they don't know who attacked them. And the one in the middle is looking at the group and looking at Alindra, Neandrame, and Verd. And who did that? Which one's the magic user? Someone hit me with a curse.
Yeah, I think...
Who are they identifying as the threat?
Yeah, I think it's Verd. He just has that, like, you know, between like the crow...
There's the witch!
Float.
There's a witch in that group!
Yeah.
Take the witch first!
We all know if they hit me, you'll just suck up my wounds anyway. So.
All right, Alindra, it's your turn. You were running in first, so I picture the Andrame and Verd are behind you, so they're facing the 3 that came into the street, and you're at the front, facing the woman you came to save, who is now flanked by 2 other ruffians, also wearing the same kind of like worn leather armor. Each equipped with spears.
Okay.
Just like
spears.
Just sticks. They're not. They're shitty old like homemade whittled spear. These are not like even military weapons. They have sticks that they're fighting you with.
That's annoying. I was hoping they wouldn't have long range.
No, they got long weapons. Go get your pike.
You're fine. So she's gonna grab her pike because she doesn't want to have to like get in that close. For 5 seconds. How much is the pike? Is the pike a 10?
The woman
For
in the
damage.
middle takes a step back and pulls a bow off her shoulder. So 2 of them have spears flanking her, and then she pulls out a bow. And so while they're going with the spear, she's going to opt for long range.
Okay, so using
And
that,
the 3 in the alleyway coming in the street, they all just are equipped similarly. Like, they're not like, they're sticks. Some of them look a little bit more gnarly and worn than others, and they're just like pieces of wood that they've sharpened into long weapons. Welcome to the Rose Garden.
the seedy side of town. Realizing this woman is right in front of us, she's gonna grab her pike and put it between them, sort of to try and create distance, and then go for a quick jab, trying to get between the ribs.
Yeah,
she
what's
doesn't
nice is
want
because you
to
both
anyway.
have long weapons, neither of you are going to get
The extra attack.
opportunity attacks. So you can just go in for the attack against left or right. Which one with the spear are you going for?
I can't go. So is it a triangle with the woman closest to me?
She took
and
a
then 2
step
behind her?
back when they
okay.
moved in. So the 2 of them are in front and she's behind. So you got to get through them, especially with their spears, to get to her.
Okay, she'll go for left. And do I have a flanking bonus or anything?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So it's just
Because
my,
you went first.
And do I
They're
do
behind
anything
you.
with this roll? So I've rolled a
So
13.
you're rolling your accuracy plus 2. So you need to roll under 13.
I did it. Okay, great.
You did it! So
sweet.
with your pike, you roll 1d8.
Yeah.
And it's a precise weapon, which I believe adds another bonus.
It adds to your attack. It adds 1.
It adds 1 to your attack, so you're actually rolling plus 3, so you need to roll 14 or under. So whenever you're rolling with your pike, just remember to add plus 1 to, like, your accuracy is essentially a 12.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So that's a 5 damage.
5 damage!
Wow.
Did I hit a pain threshold?
You almost hit a pain threshold, but you did not.
Come on, you
Because
squirrely little weaklings.
the patron saint also did 5 damage. That was really good. So you stick them and they hit, and there's like a bit of a parry there with the spear, but the spear doesn't do a good enough job, and you slide up and you get them across. Get them across them. After it's Vaird's turn, surrounded by Ambrians in an alleyway in Thistlehold.
He's going to whip his cloak goes wide as he grabs the stakes from the cloak.
Oh God!
Throws 2 right
Say
at
snakes.
Stakes. He's got
Can I
throwing
have
stakes.
snakes? Because that would also be
That would be
amazing.
Throwing
cool.
snakes.
Throw the spear. They still have the stakes that turn into snakes in midair.
Uh,
All right. No, in this
Suddenly
case,
overwhelmed.
in this case, yeah, you pull out the stakes and they're like.
Yeah. All right. So that is 1d8. And what's the mod again?
It's a +2 to your roll.
Okay. Cool. That'll hit. And then the second one will also hit.
And are you
So
going for the left and right in front of you? The patron saint hit the one right in the middle.
I'm going for the one that the patrons.
Okay.
The one that Elandra, female barbarian, number 1.
Oh, okay. So you're going to the ones at the front, not the 2, not the
Yeah,
3 in the
yeah.
back of the alley. Okay, great. So then
Yeah,
there's
both of them. Both stakes are going right
Excellent.
for that person's forehead.
I'm the number 1 female Ambrian.
No, you're one. You're number. Okay, whatever.
I'm the first female Ambrian by which you judge all other female Ambrians.
No, I think
Okay.
just first in line.
So 6 damage for the first one.
Ooh.
Oh, he goes down.
Oh, okay, cool. And then whirling for the other one.
The one that was hit by Elendra's pike, as that's going in, then you just I don't know. It's a spike. It's a stake.
Yeah.
That's a brutal thing.
It's a bad way to go.
Yeah,
and
it just goes like right into the jugular, just like
Yeah.
right into the neck, and like
Yeah.
blood spews off. And
He can't even cry out. It just goes. It's gross. It's a content warning. It's
Yeah, I feel like part of this was a lesson for Elandra. Like, I want to make sure I get that jugular right in the neck, so blood just splooshes out on.
yeah.
her.
You hear, "Come on, then take this," and it just goes right to the neck, and he drops, gone. He's out. The second attack.
Which is going to be the one that the spirit is on.
Okay, so you're throwing one in front and one behind.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
6 damage.
Oh, he also goes down because they were both but they both had 6 left.
Yeah.
And so you just throw them simultaneously in both directions, and they both hit the exact same way, and they both drop down to the middle. And now there's only 4 left. And it's their turn. So the one with the bow takes aim at Elindra, and Elindra, I need you to roll a defense roll minus 3. So you just need to roll 10. You just need to roll under 10.
Okay, cool. 4.
Yeah, you did it. All right, yeah. So you see the arrow coming from a mile away. You see the bow, they like really lead their shot out, and you just duck out of the way, and it goes wide and it clacks against the wall. The surviving one at the front with the spear, Verd is going long range, so they got to get through Elindra with the pike first, so they're also going to have to go after you, Elindra. So once again, roll me a defense roll, 10 or under. Yeah. That's what your armor's for.
I take that. I eat that.
You're gonna eat this? Okay.
Eat dirt.
Roll your silk armor, or take 4 damage. So you're gonna minimize how much.
Yes, and my silk armor is 1d4. Okay.
1d4. So roll 1d4.
I got a 1. So
You got
that
a
means
1. So you're gonna take 3 points of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually dodge out of the way of the arrow, which opens an opportunity, and it gets you in the side. And it hurts. It sticks you. The 2 in the alleyway that remain, they have to get through the patron saint to get to Verd, but they have to get through Androme to get through Verd. So they know the witch is the big danger, but you got some bodies between them. So they don't know the patron saint is there, so they're going to charge Androme, which means the patron saint is going to get free attacks on both of them.
Yay.
No, they're both happening simultaneously. So the rules actually say you only get an attack on one or the other.
On one of them.
Because as you attack one, the other's going to pass by. So go ahead and there's left or right.
Left. We'll go left.
Go left.
All right. This is...
Yeah. Plus 2 to your roll.
Oh, yeah. He made that easy.
Yeah.
That was a 6.
All right, roll your damage.
All right. That's a 1.
That's a 1. Oh, no. That's no good.
That's more like it, patron saint. back to form.
There we are. So now they get up to you, and they have spears, and you just have short sword. So
short sword. Yeah. And a parrying dagger, but
and a parrying dagger. Either way, I need you to roll defense. Does the parrying dagger offer bonuses to your defense?
+1 defense when parrying.
+1 defense when parrying. Okay. Yeah.
Still not a lot.
All right, what do you have out? Do you have your parrying sword or your short sword?
Short sword.
Short sword. Okay,
so he's not going to get the bonus.
You might eat this. Take your defense -3.
-3. Okay, so I have to roll 6 or under.
You have accurate 13.
Even you.
That's a 14 and 16. Yeah, they both hit.
Shoot.
This
Okay.
is gonna suck.
All right. Roll your armor.
D4 armor. Yeah, this is going to really hurt.
I'm
that's
sorry,
a 3
I walked us
on the
into
first
this.
one.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
And a 3 on the other one.
Okay, so you actually only took 2 damage in total
Oh, okay.
because there's only 4 each. Their spears are not that not that terrible.
Okay.
It's now your turn to respond, Yanderme.
We don't have time for this. And so I'm going to roll against my resolute. Yep, just made it. Awesome. So
you're
he
going
holds
right
up,
for it.
Yeah, he just holds up his holy symbol, and he just catches a beam of light that is just kind of into the alley.
Yeah, just
and
a little bit of the because you went out in the morning, the witches, so it's a bit of midday, so the sun is over Thistlehold now. It's coming down to the alleyway, and there's a beam of light,
just like at an
so
angle,
a crack in the wood, and because these buildings are all falling apart anyways, so you catch a single beam of light coming through a hole in the building beside you, and it hits the lens and refracts towards.
And suddenly,
them.
it's like the sun is in the alley, basically, just like.
Oh my gosh, these guys don't deserve that. Okay, go for it.
Oh, it burns. You don't have time for this. All right, so that's a 5 on the one on the left, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the right, that's just a 2.
Okay. And They don't go down, but they're screaming. They're like, ah, like radiation burn. Like they just walked into Chernobyl. They just start cooking like they're in a microwave. It's not
Gross.
really mean.
Does it have the range to hit the other guys as well?
They're
or-
they're, I don't think so because one's in front and one's behind. So they're like two separate zones, right?
Okay.
So if like it's the way I imagine it is it's like a cone attack, is that it goes out from, or is it like a flare that would hit everyone except your allies?
Because it doesn't say, it just says
way.
Mystic can pass over, have the light pass over nearby enemies. The energy causes blah 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 damage. The actual.
The way we've been describing it, it does sound like you're shooting it like a beam.
Yeah.
Towards them, and so as long as they're all in front of you, they would all get hit.
It says all nearby enemies, so it just depends on the definition of nearby.
Okay, so
level
it then
1 is a
hits
beam
you,
for
and it
one
just
person.
goes. It just goes out like a light. Now, your allies won't be affected by this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Just says
So the whole
all
place,
nearby enemies.
the whole thing just lights up, and everyone. All right, so then roll for the other two.
Okay. That's a 3 and a 4. And I've noted the temporary corruption.
Excellent. So everyone just starts like everything just smells a little bit more cooked.
Gross.
Patron Saint's turn. Patron Saint is now standing behind the two and is going to get flanking bonuses.
Nice. He's going to go for the one that looks a little more injured.
And that would be the one on your left.
On the left. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's going to go accurate. Oh, yeah. 5 hits for
Excellent.
sure. And just 2, though.
It's all right. He gets hit from behind and panics and turns around and doesn't know what's going on because now he's also burning and cooking. He's like, I didn't sign up for this. And he throws his spear to the ground and makes a run for it, not knowing the Patron Saint is standing behind him. Now, are you going to let him run, or is the Patron Saint going to get a free attack? Up to you.
Take the bodies.
I might actually let him run.
Okay, he flees. He's just like,
yeah,
I didn't sign up for this, and he dropped. He's out. He's only got 2 points. This was supposed to be an easy fight, and now we're fighting wizards, and that's a holy symbol. I'm not fighting Prios. I'm not going to jail. I'm out of here. And he leaves. And he makes a run for it. The other two are looking shaken as well, as it goes now to Elindra's turn. Of course, the two that are in the alleyway, they can't easily as run out into the street.
Mm-hmm. Well, Elindra's going for another pike stab on the same. So
that one's
left
down.
guys?
The one on the right has a spear, and then you've got the one with the bow.
And then the left guy is gone or down.
Yeah, he went down.
Okay.
He went down with the stakes.
Yep.
Gross. Gross.
Okay. So, he was the neck guy. She's gonna go for the one on the right.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So it's accurate plus 2.
I hit, and it's 4 damage.
They're weak. You've almost got them knocked out, which takes us to Verd.
Oh.
There's only 3 left. There's one behind you, and there's the 2 in front, including the woman with the bow who called you into the alleyway in the first place.
Well, okay, the one that Elendra just poked at or dabbed at. Let's throw one at them. That is a hit for 4 damage.
Yeah. So are you just going for next shot?
No, this one is going right into the eye.
Oh,
Ooh.
gross. Oh,
Sexy.
Down he goes. All right. The one in the alleyway over by, on the other side of the Patron Saint sees that happen and goes, "Oh, my light of Prios! Oh, this is horrible! I'm out of here! No one said we were going to be fighting witches and wizards and And he throws his spear. He's like, "I'm not being paid enough for this!" And he makes a run for it. Patron Saint, is he going to take a free attack, or is he going to let him go?
Do I have time for the to yell like catch him, like not like attack him, but like grab him?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so he's gonna try and grab this guy instead of killing him.
That would be quick.
Yep. All right, which is pretty good for him actually. Were there any modifiers?
No.
Be rolling like normal.
Their defense is, it would be a if they're escape rolling quick, your escape their quick is 10, so there's no modifiers up or down.
It's just flat. Okay, he failed by 1. I rolled a 16.
So you asked,
Spirit.
did you have enough time to say it? And you're like, get him! And the spirit is like, and hesitates for just a quick second.
Right.
But still intangible. Grabs and just goes through. And it's like, I'm in an intangible being.
Yeah.
And then just looks at you and shrugs. he makes an escape. He's out. With that, it's their turn. They see it's just the woman with the bow.
Yeah.
And she's lost her resolve, and she's looking for an exit, but had pulled you into a dead end alleyway on purpose and is now themselves trapped in a dead end. And you understand how it is. Just business. Just you take a job, tell people to rough them up, send a message, no harm, right? We're just putting the. I surrender. You take me to the authorities.
No.
No?
Wait, Beard,
No.
Beard. We should ask her some questions.
I am all for asking questions.
No, I'll even give you the $2 that they paid me. I was supposed to give them to the rest of them, but they are dead or cowards. So I'll give you the money. And then now, no harm, no foul. No harm to you, at least. I didn't care about them anyways. I'm just going to leave now and start. No.
You're going to answer our questions.
I don't know anything. And what? How can I have you of service, my
Convince
kind
us.
sir?
Who hired you?
Just some ordinary, just a fair-haired, brown tunic, brown trousers. I think she was in her 30s. Ordinary type.
No distinguishing features whatsoever.
Nothing that I could remember, sir. Just fair-haired, brown trousers. A woman promised to pay me $8 after the ambush, but I'm going to
Where are you meeting
abscond
this woman?
from this negotiation.
Where are you meeting this person to get your payment?
Didn't meet her, she met me. Said they would
No.
find me afterwards. Knew where to find me, they said. Trusted them, I did. Already got the $2. Figured I'd be rich.
All right.
You can have
Where
it.
is-
I'll just go and starve.
Where do they normally find you?
Just outside in the square there, in front of the Rose Garden, just in the crowd. They came up to me, said I was asking for help, if I could gather some people together, said I could, gave me $2, said there'll be people coming here, deal with them, and I'd get 8 more. That's all. It's just, how it goes. It's nothing personal.
Who sent the letter? Was it you or her?
What letter? There was no letter. Just you were coming this way, and I was to lure you. The luring was my idea. I'm a clever one, you see. So I came up with the plan to bring you into the. But I was just told that you would be coming this way, and we were to partake in the ambush. We did partake.
What would you
And,
have done if you were successful?
I would have gone back to my room and waited for my benefactor to follow up with the payment at a later date. I trusted them. I do. I'm a trusting person. I trust people to follow through with the deals that they make with me. I've got a good instinct and a keen mind about that. It's just gonna. Can I leave now?
Sorry, is the woman still here?
Yeah,
the
that's
woman
her.
who was-
That's it.
That's
She's
her.
the
This
only
is her.
survivor.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Sorry.
Sorry about lying
Survive.
earlier. I wasn't actually in danger, turns out. Just, needed to pull you in. I usually play that damsel in distress. I was going to be an actress, you see, one day, but then the theater wouldn't have me. So here I am in Thistlehold trying to make my way.
And try to kill us, right?
It's just, this is Thistlehold. There's people trying to kill each other it's just business. It's just competition.
Well, it won't
Figured you probably
matter.
cheated someone else on a debt, or didn't go through on a license, or you reneged on an expedition. These things happen. Probably should have made sure to pay your tab on time.
So if we kill you, you'll understand that it's not personal.
Please don't.
Right?
I would appreciate it if you didn't. I've got plans for my future. You see, I'm going to be an actress one day once I pay off my debts.
Oh boy.
Veered.
Mm.
We don't have to kill her.
You don't have to kill me. I'm an innocent bystander.
If we follow her, we might meet who hired her.
I'll even help you stake it out. I'll tell you all the little places you can hang out. Turns out, there's 3 new rooms in the Rose Garden opened up because of you. You could just identity thieve them.
I'm okay with this plan.
A quick question.
I'd need to change.
You saw this woman's face? Who tasked you with this?
Yeah, looked a little bit like you. Nice fair-haired Ambrian.
But you've never seen them before out and about? Do you ever leave these parts?
Never seen her before. Been here in Thistlehold for 2 years now. Never seen that one before. But people are always coming and going. That's how it is. That's why I like to be here. People watch.
You
I'm
think
good with
this
people.
Ambrian looks nice?
And she's like taking a stool and it's like a barrel now and it's like having a sit.
I think Yandro is right.
Yeah,
and you
I
should
am-
join her in a stake.
What did you say, Vered, about Ambrians being nice?
He was like, you mean to say you think this Ambrian looks nice? Pointing.
Alindra's looks.
Yeah.
Oh, you look quite fair. You look like you've been well bred. You got good teeth. That'll take you far in this world. If you wanted to be an actress, you need to have good teeth. And she smiles like this toothy, like missing teeth smile.
Yeah, Vera's just like very confused. Male Ambrian. In your culture, is your sister an attractive individual?
Beard, are you? This is so.
That's just all the noises that come out of his mouth.
Are you? This is highly rude. Would you have said this to any other woman?
It is quite highly rude. I think she's quite fetching.
Thank you.
You could get yourself a nice amount of money here in the Red Row if you wanted to spend some capital and learn a little extra on the side. I know some people who can set you up with a room on top of an old
He
abandoned
just
storehouse.
puts his arm like between his sister and this person, and is like, "That's quite no."
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the world's oldest profession.
No, it's not. Hunting and gathering is.
How do you think the hunters and gatherers got born in the first place?
Aside from the economics of sex work, what I'm most concerned with is figuring out who this woman is. If she's some sort of, someone who could write. This is very good script. It's obviously not, no offense, someone from around here. I'm very curious who it could be.
Oh, no offense taken. Nice people don't come into Halaban Circle to the Rose Garden, not unless they've at their wits' end. Nothing left to go for.
Wouldn't it be easy to stake out? Though, how were they to know if we were killed? Were you supposed to do something with our bodies?
Just kind of shrugs. The goblins usually take care of that. You'd be surprised how many bodies are left dead in alleyways in Thistlehold. They're usually cleaned up overnight.
Sadly, I'm not surprised.
Well,
Been here too long.
Minister of Sanitation might have something to say about that. They say that
Hate this town.
always people wonder where that butcher gets all of their extra meat. Some say
I
it's
hate-
from the abomatorium. I say it's from all of the dead bodies in the
God.
alleyways.
I don't like this town at all.
in this town.
I've been to worse.
I haven't.
Paid myself out of Blackmore, and that's how I afford to stay here in the Rose Garden. How do you end up in Thistlehold? You seemed like a nice sort. Surely you must have a nice castle and a duchy somewhere.
Well,
I'll just leave that one alone.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. What is your name?
Margie.
That's really your name?
I mean, you have any name you want when you come here and you start a new life to become an actress. I chose Margie. My name's gonna be on all the billboards.
Okay. Yandome, should we perhaps change your clothes with this man on the floor?
He looks at like the blood-soaked
Tell you what, I think you're all quite handy on handling everything. So why don't I cut my losses and flee Thistlehold and never return? Go be an actress in Blackmore.
Don't you dare! You have to stay here until we can meet the woman who wanted to pay you to kill us.
Failed to go through with the task, and you're still very much alive, and they seem to know what you look like since they were able to deliver a letter to you that I had no idea about. I think they'd probably kill me. So I don't really want to stay with a target on my back. Thank you very much. I think I'm just going to go take my chances at Rent-A-Tent.
As much as I hate to agree with her, she's probably right.
I usually am. Got a smart brain, I do. It's what kept me alive so long. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm scared all the time. That helps too.
Well, is there other information we should take from this woman? Is it good to have a loose end like this?
Unfortunately,
I'm not a loose end.
Yandrome-
I'm going to flee right now and never look back. I know when I've met a bigger thing. That person who paid me off to take you out, they better watch out because I know you're coming for them and I want nothing to do with that. So I'm just going to run for my life.
We're losing time. We should let her go and move on.
Days
to our next
getting
lead.
long. Got to get going. Never know when a
disagree,
sinkhole's going to open
but-
up underneath you.
If this person tried to, let's just do it your way.
Let's do it
this
their way.
person
Yes, I like that. I'm going to leave now. I'm
frustrates
going
me.
to run.
Margie, do you have any money on you?
Gave you my only $2. Got it today.
Oh,
Giving it
okay,
to you.
good.
Now I'm
Thank
broke
you.
and hungry. Probably going to starve to death anyway, so you won't have long to worry about me. I'll just end up sleeping in the gutter and I just won't wake up in the mornings. That sounds kind of peaceful, actually. Okay, bye, everybody. Nice to meet you. Good luck with the ambushes. Sounds like there's probably more on the way.
Elendra's stepping out of the way now.
And as soon as she just runs for her life. Steps over one of the dead bodies and so, oh, sorry, Greg. And then just kind of picks up gets one of the boots. Is like a little bit of a better fit than her boot and puts a boot on and then runs off with a new boot and takes off.
Elendra's gonna get down and pat Greg's
Really,
body
sister?
down.
They got nothing. I mean, they've got like leather armor. They've got a handful of Ortegs, and that's kind of like they're all down on their luck, treasure hunters.
Okay.
It sounded like Margie
Yandrome,
was handling the finances.
when you don't spend your days paid for by a church, it turns out that living in Thistlehold is quite expensive.
So I've heard the door's always open.
Yes. Well, we've seen how busy you are and how difficult it is for you to spend time looking for the parents, so I must continue the endeavor alone, using the money I can find. What do we do about this, though? We just had an assassination attempt on our lives.
It means we're heading in the right direction.
Does it?
That or something completely unrelated. But if I had to guess.
What do you think?
Also, Elandra, female barbarian. Oh, God.
Elendra's
Female.
grinning so hard.
Ambrian. There are lovely spots outside of the town. I have a nice hammock. Don't sleep in the alleyways of this place. It would make my whole journey to bring you here kind of pointless.
Oh. Does this mean I can't stay with Alamar anymore?
Who the hell is Alamar?
He's the barbarian who runs that lovely, lovely is strong. Witch and familiar. Very nice. His mother's a witch like you. So that's interesting.
Okay. Do what you want.
It's fine. I probably shouldn't. I've been there. Everyone knows I'm there. I've been telling people to send me information if they find anything. I'm offering money for it. You're probably right that we shouldn't perhaps stay at our residences of most attendants.
Our next step should be, if the Ordo Magica are planning to go into that hole, we should just leech off of that opportunity.
Okay, so do we go and present ourselves as earnest adventurers?
They've seen us in combat. At least I recall some of them have seen us. Maybe you two Ambrians of noble birth could sleaze your way into an expedition.
I want to know what they know about the well, since we actually have some information about it.
And it seems like Ordo is the best place next to go.
That's all right.
Very well.
Ver, just so you know, if my parents were here, I would be married off probably for a great sum of money. And I would be very well wanted by many of the people in this city. Just for your knowledge, okay?
In that Ambrian male. Is this true?
Probably, yes. I suppose that is the sort of thing they would do.
Elendra's off.
The Ordo Magicae is actually closer. It's in that richer section I was telling you, close to the Queen's Liturge and Last Four Night Pitches Night Home. Not actually that far from the Witch and Familiar, where we've been staying by the Western Gate. And the chapter house has, a reception lobby where those can approach the Ordo Magica for work and hiring them for different jobs, or access to their library if they want to pay for that, as well as, it's kind of like a small college or a university that's been built up, where there's other adepts that work there, and they work on their studies and their investigations and explorations into Davokar. Although a lot of the Ordo members themselves don't go to Davokar, they would petition and patronize a expedition to go on their behalf and bring things back. So the place tends to be, it's not that it's uninviting and the doors are closed. It just doesn't have like a welcome visitors kind of a place. So when you get there, there's not a lot of activity on the front steps. As you enter in, there would be a Magicae member sipping wine in a smoking jacket. He's walking through the room as you come through the door, and just kind of stops in his tracks. Oh, hello! Here for the expedition meeting, are you? Another petitioner? And he takes another drink out of his glass, a little steady on his feet.
I look at everyone, just kind of shrug.
Yes, we are. Have there been many petitioners by?
You're the first, actually. Seems to be too many people are afraid of terrible monsters coming to drag them away for a life of torture and slavery. It seems that's not a very good pitch to get people, so they're debating about whether or not they're going to have to go in themselves, which between you and I, they're all a bunch of cowards and none of them want to go down there. And he takes another drink. Gonkal is the name. Pleasure to meet you. Brave souls. Gonna be another petitioner's fodder for the research. Yes.
Well, we are the Fathiels, and I prefer to think of us as
surnames. So fancy. Oh, well, come on. I'll show you into the room. They're debating the finer points right now. I'm sure they'll hate an interruption. It'd be lovely.
What's the name? Gondor, did you say?
Gonkai. Goncoi.
I like him.
I like me too. Come on, Master Thurge. We haven't had a member of the church in here in quite some time. That'll ruffle some feathers.
I aim to please.
Yeah,
I always imagine Baird's just our little shadow at the back trying to hide himself in a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
I really shouldn't be here.
He opens up the door into the chapter master's office, where the chapter master Cornelio and Euphrinda, who you've already met, are currently debating about the skills and experience that are needed to accomplish the task to examine the sinkhole. And Cullen and Furia, who you also met at the battle, is standing silently over by a fire, leaning on their staff. Just looking into the fire, not participating in this fight. And then sitting very adeptly in the center of the room, you recognize the same member who joined the delegation to see the witches, who went out when we needed someone from the Ordo. And this one was wearing a hat and a scarf and big glasses and was writing everything down into a notepad to keep a record of it. And they seem to be keeping the minutes of this meeting as well, between like the historical occasion of the attack on Thistlehold, right? So that one day they can look into the archives and see what's going on. And he says something like Cornelio says something, and Euphrinda says something back, and then looks to the one in the glasses and goes, "Don't write that down. Don't commit it to the record. I retract that statement. I don't want that brought up years later." Cornelio, we need to get into the sinkhole now. We don't know what is in there. Well, then why don't you go for it? It's like, I couldn't possibly. I have busy business to be busy about. And besides, surely this is a town of fortune hunters, and no one wants to go down and make a fortune. We can't just be paying people to go down there. Night Pitch was absolutely adamant that there must be volunteers.
Someone said something about volunteers?
Ah, yeah. Gonkai speaks up. Found some people. They're interested in the sinkhole. They are. They came walking in here. I brought them in for you, Cornelio. You have a good time. And he just leaves the room, pouring another. He grabs a bottle of wine off of Cornelio's desk or a side table and just starts filling up his glass. He just leaves it. I'll just help myself. And he's like, you need me? I'll be in my study. And he just heads off. Seeing you around. If you need any answers, I'll be happy to help answer, especially if it's stuff no one else wants to know. He heads out the door. Oh. Cornelia comes to a stop when your friend and they both kind of look at you. Yes, you have information, or you're here to offer your services, or why are you here?
Bit of A, bit of B.
Excellent. Wonderful riddles come from you. Did Father of Feno send you? He says to Yandrame, Father of Feno is like the face of the Sun
The
Church.
head of the church.
He's not the head. He's like one of the more senior members who's much more public. The actual senior people stay inside the cloister.
Right. No, I'm actually here of my own accord. And thanks to my connections with these wonderful individuals.
See, Frinda, there are still altruists in Thistlehold, people who are willing to put their lives on the line to save this town from itself. No doubt you've heard the rumors.
There are so many of those.
Yes, what would you be specifying in that rumor?
Well, why are you here, then?
Well, we'd hope to assist in investigating the sinkhole so that we could help Thistlehold.
We can't just let anyone go down there. We have no idea what we're looking for or what to expect after what just came out. We didn't even believe that the rumors were true, that there were tunnels beneath the town, and yet here they are. Turns out they're real. So, what do you bring to the table? Why should we risk our reputation to entrust you on this perilous journey into the deep? And anything you do say, bullshit if you want, you'll get a +5 modifier because Euphrinda, I recognize you. You did come. I did take. These are the three I told you about. They fought for this town. They were out there on the sinkhole. They almost died before Cullinan saved their lives. They're brave, they are, and they're capable of handling those beasts that came out. So you listen to them, Cornelio. They have something to offer. Now, seriously, though, we do need to know what you bring to the table. So because of your friend vouching for you to a bit, you get a +5 modifier on your persuasive roll. Along with your persuasive roll, I, the GM, would also like to know what you are persuading them with. And so anything goes, but you'll get a +5 on that. But I do, why they have a reputation in town. They're the wizards. So why should they trust you with their reputation?
Has anyone else in the town thought to ask the witches who are standing outside the gate, who came to us at the very moment that all this happened?
Oh yes, I'm sure they have wonderful superstitions and folklore which to offer, but we need to get down there and see for ourselves. We need to study what this is. Them warning us of forbidden, they're always telling us that the end is coming, that Davakor will awaken, the spirits are mad, and on it goes, but we have an actual hold to explore, so we are going to focus on that. Besides, we've been tasked with Night Pitch to do this post-haste, and if we don't get there first, this is a town of thieves and knaves who are going to head down there eventually and break the barricade, so we have to get down there before them.
He's going to try and read the room with this question to see if they actually knew, but there's no interest in the Symbaroum well that is at the heart of town. He's just trying to get a read of did they actually know it was a Symbaroum thing, or is this?
We all it's it's carved in Symbarian runes on the side.
Oh, okay,
very obvious.
It's pretty obvious.
A relic of Symbaroum. But it's more like a tourist attraction in Thistlehold than anything. And we had no idea that it was capable of doing anything other than providing water to the town, and yet here it is. Turns out it can speak too. Which could actually tell us what it was.
Supposedly, it is a warning bell that warns of corruption, which would seem to fit.
There was a lot of corruption coming out of that hole, indeed. A friend had told me about the beasts that attacked, twisted by dark magic. Makes perfect sense. Of course, that would trigger the alarm.
And, well, I myself am an esteemed scholar of,
Sorry, it's half of Symbaroum. It's
Beasts?
1,000 years old. Machineries break down. For all we know, it just fell.
While that may be true, I think I could provide some excellent scholarship on this mission. Aside from being able to handle myself, as you've seen, I've spent years of my life studying abominations, and I'd be so interested in understanding the source of the corruption that allowed so many abominations to exist at once and spill out from the earth like that. And Verd has also been a great scholar of that sort of information too. And then, of course, my brother, a wonderful, she gestures to his outfit, is very well skilled and knowledgeable in these sorts of science of corruption and the like. I think we'd be able to provide an excellent scientific analysis of what is happening beneath our town.
Okay. All you have to do is roll persuasive. +5.
It's not funny if you don't talk
+6 because you did such a good job.
I can't fail that roll.
+5 then, so there's a single chance that you might. I
Still
wanted Lindra
can't
to
fail.
roll the persuasive because
I did it!
speaking.
I did it! I rolled a 2 anyway.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
better.
even roll the
Good.
additions.
Cornelia puts his okay, you've made your point. Besides, it's not like we have a lineup of volunteers willing to go into the unknown without any promise of payment. He pulls out this long contract from his table, rolls it out onto the table. We can agree to this. If you agree to this, it's a standard Ordo Magicae contract. It promises that anything you find down there belongs to the tower. Any information or items that you recover on the expedition belongs to the expedition, which belongs to the Ordo Magicae. On top of that, we will be sending our adept of the Order to join the expedition and keep a record of your goings and doing to, of course, protect our reputation. Other than that, we're happy to send you on our way as our representatives. Sign here, and here, and here, and here, and initial here, and here, and here.
Do we have any
And he hands you a
sense that
quill.
this contract is in some form like magically binding or something, or is it just like a standard contract?
It's standard more Ordo Magicae bureaucracy. Just promising that if this expedition, anything you find is their intellectual property.
They're investors.
That while
They're- yeah.
while you are on this expedition, you are working for us. So anything you find belongs to us. Because we
I
are sending
hate
you.
that.
You are going as us, as our proxies. So it doesn't belong to the church, doesn't belong to the barbarians, and doesn't belong to House Fathiel, was it? It belongs to the Ordo. And there you go. And you can satiate your curiosity, and we can hopefully find out what is going on here.
And to confirm, we must sign this despite being volunteers who will receive no payment.
Yes, and Ganderald here will be coming with you. And then the person with the glasses stands up, and you see them with their scarf off, and you recognize them as a changeling who dressed as an Ordo Magicae adept who's been keeping notes and writes down, "Oh, that's me. That's my name. Hello, I'm Ganderald. I will be joining you as your record keeper. Don't worry, I won't get in your way. In fact, I will be staying behind you the entire time."
Oh,
Well, that is for the best.
It is. You really don't want to see me. I'm just the record keeper, but I'll be scribbling down everything and keeping a record of everything that is said or done or thought or taken or stashed away. He says with a nice, calm and quiet demeanor as he
Do
writes this all down.
you have any? Do you have an expertise in combat?
Oh, absolutely. All adepts of the Ordo Magicae are given long training, and so I can handle myself, if you will, but I trust I won't have to, since you are the professional fortune hunters you are, as he gussies you up and says how brave and strong and powerful you are. You won't need my help. I will just be here to keep the records.
Excellent.
And so he just fixes his
okay.
his eyepieces. They got like lenses and little vials and stuff that he can like move, and so you can see different magnifications. Think like Atlantis.
Yeah,
I love it.
that's great.
But also he's a changeling, so he's got his face is it's a little bit like Odo from Deep Space Nine. He's kind of missing some of his facial features. His face is a little bit flatter. His nose is a little more sallow, and he's got this like he would have looked human as a child, but as he would have aged, and then he just shifts into looking like a changeling.
All right, well, I suppose we shall sign. She's gonna look into. Yep.
Yeah,
We might
Meredith will sign it.
If anyone wants to roll Lore Master, you might have heard some background on Genderald.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna roll for
I don't
that.
Just
have
in the
that.
history and the stories of, because you've been reading a lot about Thistlehold.
Nat 20.
Aw.
Ganderald, you've heard that name before. You know, your friend has said that you reminded her of him, but you swear you've heard more. Maybe if you got to the Queen's Liturgy, you could look up any news reports on Ganderald's history in Thistlehold, and you can try again. But you know in the back of your head, like he's got there's a story about him. It's a good story. I don't think it's anything bad. You don't remember it's a positive impression, but left an impression on this. Anyways, people talk about him. He's not a celebrity like Cullen Furia or anyone, but you've heard that name before. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're distracted. You got a contract to sign. You got an expedition to go on.
All right.
All right, we sent it.
Before we head down, there are probably some preparations we would like to make. Just some last minute things. I assume.
There is no time to waste.
Ready to go down right now.
The mayor expects us to hurry along and get down there as soon as possible. So if you need any preparations, you better do it before the
Curiosity, would you have
sundown
any
today.
Oh, for sure.
perhaps potent weapons or potions, salves that might be useful that the Ordo Magica could provide us so that we might make sure we and your Ganderald stay safe?
We are very busy with our own studies and financing several expeditions that are currently ongoing in Davakar. We just do not have the time or the personnel or... I'm sorry. You are going to have to look after yourselves. This is an emergency after all, and we are looking for people to help this town understand things. We can see about... It depends what you find, but we don't have... It's just us right now.
Of course.
The mayor expects us to bring them answers.
Understood.
Is there anything you have found so far that you have not shared? Any new information since yesterday?
And would you tell us?
No, we're in the dark as much as you are. One point, a well rings like a bell and brings part of the town down, and then creatures start pouring out of tunnels underneath, and we are trying to catch up and learn as much as anyone else, and ideally your expedition will provide the answers that we are all looking for. Our expedition, of course. Not yours. It's ours. You represent us.
Understood.
Well, if you need more questions, Gonkai is always around. He's happy to answer. I have much more things to account for. I have letters that need to be written, reports that need to be reserved. Euphrinda, is this enough? Will this expedition do? Yes, it'll be fine. It'll be great. Happy it's off of my shoulders. I'll be in my studies, and she makes her way out of the office, and Cornelio goes back to his desk, and he starts bringing out like more paperwork and stuff and signing. He's like, he looks up and sees that you're still in the room. Will that be all?
When we're ready, is there some sort of contraption for us to descend into the sinkhole with, or just
Ganderald, do you have rope? I've got rope, sir. Don't worry about that. We'll just rappel down. Yeah, that will be fine for you then. Colin and Furia is still by the fire, just kind of watching everything.
Right then.
All right. Perhaps we should go speak with
Gonkai, Master Gonkai.
Gonkai.
Oh,
Master
Gonkai's my master. I'm his adept. I work for him. You've already met. Oh, of course you've already met. He brought you into the room.
Oh, right,
I had it
Ganderald,
written
you're
down
here.
here. He opened the door and he said, "Hey, Cornelio." And he starts recounting his minutes that he wrote down.
You write down everything, or just when things are relevant?
Oh, well, it was my job to keep a record of the activities of the Ordo Magicae here in Thistlehold, and the chapter house is quite new, only 6 years, so we have to keep a good, accurate record of things that are going on. After all, history is being made every day. As he's just got his notepad and he's just like writing everything down. If you had a look, he's doing it like a shorthand, like a courtroom stenographer.
Right. Well, Ganderald, can you take us to your master Gonkai?
Yeah, I can take you to Gonkai. He's usually up in his study/parlor. Cullen and Furia sees you all leave as the door closes. He just kind of looks back towards Cornelio, and as the door closes, you hear quiet conversation through the door. And he takes you up up through one of the stairs up to the third floor of the chapter house, and at the back is a nice door that leads into what would be normally like a professor's study full of books and tables, but there's lots more of just wine and a nice lounging chair. This is closer to a parlor to host nobles and conversation, and Cornelio is a place where work is done. This is a place where conversation is had. And as you come through, you see just a clipping. Looks to be some kind of cigar and lighting. Oh, hello. You got your contract signed off to the expedition, it will be? Ganderald, I trust you'll be going and keeping your records as always, writing down every word as you go.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yeah, we were wondering, well, one, if you might have anything useful we could take with us on this expedition. It seems the Ordo Magica cannot provide much for those going on.
We're not an adventuring guild, my young lady. We are scholars and researchers. What we have are our robes, our books, and our minds. And if you'd like to take our books, you're welcome to it, but my mind is my own, and so we can help answer questions. But this is why we outsource.
We could take books?
You can read. You can read some of the books from the archives, certainly. If you prove yourself, now you go and make a good name for us. You come back with some answers about what's happened in that sinkhole, and I can give you access to my archives, absolutely.
Excellent. And would you have any knowledge about...
Not much time. I understand the
saw?
mayor is quite adamant that we go and get that all sorted, and if the mayor turns us around, it'll be a hard time for all of us. But I can answer some of your questions if you're quick.
Do you have any knowledge about what happened yesterday? Any suspicions of what might be lying in wait for us at the bottom?
If we had that, we wouldn't be hiring you to go find out those answers, would we?
I do believe that we ran into the Beast Clan of Barbarian legend yesterday.
Interesting. And what do you know about the Beast Clan?
Personally, very little. Veered, on the other hand.
Some things. Yep.
First-hand knowledge from a native. Wonderful. Well, if you'd be happy to share your knowledge, our understanding of the local clans is woefully inaccurate, and can't say we know much more about it. Honestly, didn't think there was anything below Thistlehold until yesterday afternoon when they all came out and started stealing people, dragging them away.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Well, we have a lot of prep to do, so...
Okay.
Yes, you do. Yes, time is of the essence. There is a lot more that you could ask Gonkai when you have found some things to ask him about.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
That makes sense.
All right, perhaps we should
Ganderald was like, don't mind Master Gonkai. He's a little eccentric, but he's happy to answer things. It just sounded like you went in there a little empty-handed, if you know what I mean. We don't know anything, which is why we've hired you. But as you learn things, you can ask them about the things that you learn. That's how it works, says Ganderald, like he's speaking down to students that he's now a TA for.
I'm impressed at how little the Ordo Magica knows.
You'd be surprised how little the Ordo Magicae knows at all times. That's what makes us scientists. We're searching for the truth because we don't know. Unlike the church, we don't presume to know either.
Mother always said there would be such scholars in the north. All right.
It's okay to be wrong all the time, I suppose. He says, only a little hurt.
Ganderald makes a note of that and commits it to the official record.
Yep.
All right. Perhaps we should grab what we need and then meet at the sinkhole?
That sounds good.
That
Say
seems like a plan.
goodbye to your loved ones.
I'll take this
et cetera, et
contract
cetera.
to the captain, and I will have him available to know that you are allowed to get through the barricade, and I will meet you at that barricade, and we will descend into the unknown this evening.
Splendid.
Excellent.
Looking forward.
Gandereld will meet you at the sinkhole. And heads out. As you leave the Ordo Magicae, and you leave the chapter house, and you're walking the streets, who has the best vigilant stat?
Probably not me.
It's Verd. Verd, give me a vigilant roll against your own vigilance.
Fucking good.
No, actually,
bro.
it's not against your own vigilance. It's against someone else's discretion.
Rolled a 2.
Oh, that's fine, because I was going to say it was a -5 that you were rolling against, and you still rolled a 2, so you still did it. You get out. And this is where we'll end. As you leave the chapter house and you had to get your supplies ready, which we will do between episodes so we can just go right to the single. Verd, you look and you see there are people in the crowd. They're watching. There's someone up on the rooftop that watching. They're keeping a distance. They're not moving in. But you have a tail. You have people watching and following you. Along, and they're not following Ganderel. He takes off. The three of you, you see like there's a one over by pretending to put garbage away and dumping something into a trough. They're like spilling some like waste into a gutter. But they're just standing there. They're doing a bad job. They're just kind of like stuck in a loop. There's another person who's not having a conversation. Is just like reading some letter, and it's just not really reading it because they're keeping an eye on the three of you. And then there's another one up on the roof who's just watching, because no one ever looks up. They're just watching you. They're keeping an eye, and as you start walking, they start walking, and they're following from a distance. Keeping a distance, but keeping an eye. You're being followed. You're not alone.
Yeah, I'll whisper to the other two that someone has more than a passing interest in our activities.
There's a stop I want to make then before we go into the sinkhole.
Oh, what's that
Perhaps-
stop?
I'd like to try and find those 3 Templars so that we have someone watching our back when we go into this thing.
Oh. Give me... What would be... I think it would be Vigilant would be another role to like gather information and ask questions.
Okay.
You know, persuasive, maybe. Go up to a guard watch and ask them if they know where those Templars were, right? Like they're famous enough.
Yeah, they're pretty obvious.
Yeah, and you've got a nice countenance. You're
Just
a man
made
of the cloth.
Just made it.
The
14.
McKelly brothers. Yeah. We're kind of doing like that Law and Order thing where it just like cuts to a person and we're doing like a little montage. Yeah, I know them. One got a little injured there in the fight yesterday. They're healing up. They're in the Winged Ladle, staying in one of the rooms. Nice
Lovely.
and safe above that tree. Wish I could afford a place like that. And then he just kind of continues on his beat walk.
I just turned to these two and I feel like it might behoove us to have someone else we can somewhat trust.
I agree, and honestly, I don't think the Ordo Ambrian will make it.
Oh, I like him. Oh, okay.
And with that, I think Vierd is going to use shapecraft or shapeshift to, turn into a bird.
I didn't know you picked that up.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And
What? This is just gonna be so badass on the street.
he doesn't trust these people watching, so now it's like, let's figure out who they're talking to and why.
Well, so this is where we're wrapping this particular episode because we're a little over time. So
Yeah.
what's a good way to put a button on it? Why don't we we
Yeah.
go with the McKelly brothers and then we can start the next episode with you
Yeah, that sounds good.
wanting to take, because I kind of like just like the dun 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 moment of you just being followed. They're not making a move. There's no threat. They're just you've got a tail. Like you've got like a stakeout. People are just tracking you and reporting back to their masters on your whereabouts and your going.
And this is the spy movie thing where are they good? Are they bad? Do they work for Night
I just
Pitch?
want you to
Well,
know-
they're bad. We just got jumped in an alleyway.
Yeah, we don't trust anyone right now.
Yeah, like
Trust
I
no
assume they're
one.
there to kill us.
The Terrible Warriors return every Tuesday with new story episodes playing Symbaroum. And if you'd like to know more about the Ordo Magica and its enigmatic members, the answers can be found within the pages of the core rulebook. And thanks to our friends at Free League, we're able to give away a free digital copy of the core rules to one lucky listener this month. For more information on this contest, check out the show notes or visit terriblewarriors.com. And to learn more about Symbaroum, visit freeleaguepublishing.com. And if you like this show and you want us to make more of it, we exist thanks only to our continued supporters from our Patreon page at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. Along with supporting a scrappy underdog independent podcaster, you can join me also for a private monthly game that I host every month for our Patreon supporters. This month we're playing through Symbaroum's Copper Crown adventures, which cover the events that happened during the 6-month gap between the Promised Land and the Wrath of the Warden storyline. All of these details on how to join that game can be found on our Patreon page, or send me a direct message over our Discord channel or Twitter, or really wherever you can track me down. I'm easy to find. Your Terrible Warriors today have been Mitch Wallace, Sean Horbatiuk, Ainslie Moores, and me, Justin Ecock. Editing and production is also by me. Music is licensed through Epidemic Sound. Next week on the Terrible Warriors, it's finally time to descend into the sinkhole and find some answers. But what waits for us down in the dark? Is that singing? We'll shine a light on the dark mysteries beneath Thistlehold next week, right here on the Terrible Warriors.